What it do? Three Dudes Fantasy Podcast coming at you post-draft. Obviously, it's just me and Joe today. So, we're going to get into this. We're going to go over the draft today. We're going to go talk about Yahoo grades, and then we're going to talk about what the draft app we used gave us, and then talk a little bit about strategy and go over all that stuff. So before we get into anything, here's Joe. So Joe has been in the league for, I believe, over 10 years now. Of the 15 we've been together. Joe, give us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Let's see. I've been playing fantasy since 2009. Started in one league, the one that I currently run with by myself, and then Steven plays in it. I'm kind of crazy about fantasy. I play in a lot of leagues. I think currently my current total is 27. So it's a lot. I love football, love fantasy. I'm a nerd, I'm a gamer, but when it comes to fantasy football season, I'm all in. So, yeah.
Yeah. And Joe and I work together, and we've been working together for, I think, 11 years now. I just celebrated my 11th anniversary, so it's got to be that.
Yeah.
And then we've been playing flag football together for, I believe, 12 to 13, because I started playing a little bit before. So,
yeah.
Before I started working at Gap.
Before you started working at Gap was when Emery? Might have been Emery.
Yep,
right?
yeah. Emery was born, or Ella was born. So
yep. About 10 years. Yeah. Been
Yeah.
playing a little longer than you, 20 years.
Yeah,
so.
you've got a lot more age on the football field.
Yeah.
Let's get into this. So I wanted to get into your thoughts on the changes I did to the draft this year. So wasn't a ton of changes, but we did make some changes that were different.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of want to get your thoughts. Like, what did you think about it?
Well, I liked the way that we did the draft board. I thought it was very interactive. I know you put a lot of time and effort into it, especially with all the intros and all the background songs for everyone. I thought it was a nice little niche to the draft. So it wasn't like a lot of dead air. Especially I know since it was online, I know it was really helpful for those that couldn't make the draft, because that seems to be a thing that we have every year.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was a good way to have the people that weren't here to be able to interact with the draft.
Yeah, that was the plan behind doing all of the things I did this year was, hey, I know every year we've had at least one person missing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we just replace them.
Yeah.
And while that is the intention of the draft is to be in person, that's what we love. It's fun to get together. It's important we learn to evolve, right?
Yep.
Like, technology's come so far. So we used an app called FanDraft. It's a paid subscription, and it worked well for what we needed to do. It had a lot of neat little features, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
We had walk-up songs, and I got to put little, jokes and jabs at everybody. They all got special pictures and all that other stuff. What do you think of the little other changes? The champion drinks, you have the champs corner here. We had a losers corner, and they had to put in all the drafted people. Any of those things, yay, nay, indifferent?
No, I thought it was great. Because I know typically it's usually whoever gets your first gets to kind of pick wherever they want to sit. Excuse me. Being able to have, for Mike and I, have our own seat since we won it last year, I thought it was great. And then of course I thought it was hilarious for Aaron when he had to sit in the loser seat, and he had to help with the draft. So yeah. I think that was a little, I didn't know about that for the added punishment, but I thought it was fun.
Yeah, so just so everybody knows, the loser seat was an uncomfortable chair. It's just a folding chair. We didn't make him sit on the floor or anything, but everybody else got to sit on couches, and Aaron sat in a little folding chair and had to sit next to me, according to my daughter, which is the punishment. And Aaron did a lot, and I appreciate all he did. He was a great sport about, the loser punishment and all that stuff, and he entered the draft stuff. So really appreciate it. I did like being able to have everybody included in the draft. That was nice.
Yeah.
I wish we could have. The only feature I wish the app had was some kind of zoom in feature, because it would have been fun to talk some smack while they were picking.
Right.
And we'll get into that a little bit more, but there was a few picks I was like, what's going on here? Like,
right. Well,
so
all that, and then I think being able to zoom in because some people were kind of sweating when they would make their picks.
Yeah.
They were like, oh my God, what do I do?
Yeah. It's fun. And that's why I love in-person drafts is you get to talk a little smack And that's the whole point of fantasy is
Yep.
getting together with your friends and you're talking a little, junk. And one of my favorite things, you guys did it, and I did it at least once. You take a pick and you hear, oh, damn, or oh, shit. And that always makes me feel so good because you're like, yes, killed it. I loved the player and I took it from them. So, all right. Well, I think that's a good little intro. I wanted to go over your draft strategy a little bit, and I'll talk about mine as well, but it's a little bit different, right? Because it's you and Mike. So you guys draft together. It's not the same as where I sit down and go, these are the players I like and I get to pick.
Yep.
You guys have a little bit more collaboration, which I think can give you guys huge advantages, but also probably has drawbacks. So I kind of wanted to get, what was your draft strategy here?
So for us, how we try to typically keep it is you and I think very similar when it comes to drafting and how we rank players. Mike has come along that way recently since we've been doing this for a while. For me, over the last few years, learning about all the rookies and stuff, because I wasn't really knowledgeable about all of the upcoming rookies that were coming out of, from the NFL draft. So that was my whole thing, learning about that. But typically what we like to do is we'll go and we'll kind of do a few mocks together, like just picking players off the board, like kind of who we think that you guys are going to take, and then kind of go off of, okay, who's the best available player on the board? If it's a wide receiver, running back, so on and so forth. So this year, since we kept a receiver, typically how I like to go about it is we'll get 1 and 1. So 1 wide receiver, 1 running back, unless it's, there's 2 running backs that great value we have to take. So that's typically how we like to try to go about it, but we're very flexible. That's the one thing that I think that we've improved on since co-managing is being able to adapt like really quickly, because we had to do that.
Yeah.
In this draft, like we expected, I think I told you, we expected either Nico Collins or Drake London to be on board. Well, they were, but like Genty and St. Brown fell to us. So it's like, oh, we weren't expecting it. So we had to just quick adjustments on the fly. I think that's what gives us the advantage of being able to adjust and talk about it right away.
Right. Yeah. You're fluid like water. And I think that's the best thing I ever talk about is, so I use Sleeper for our draft just because you can enter all of the keepers in and I can adjust and go, this is who I think will come off the board, and then kind of let it go from there. That's how I use Sleeper at least. But it does give you a little bit more of an advantage of like, oh, I think this is how the board will fall with that. But being fluid. So I know for me, I always try to do 4 different draft strategies and see which one I like the team the best. So this year was a good example. I went wide receiver, tight end. I went wide receiver, running back. I went running back. And I just to see like, what does my team look like when I do this and where are my downfalls. So I know that kind of helps. But yeah, you're right. Being fluid, I think, is probably the most important thing.
Yeah. And I think being able to do that is like having a draft, like you want to have a draft strategy, but you also want to have a backup to that strategy. And in our case, like I'm a little crazy. So I'll have a backup to the backup to the backup on the off chance that, oh, this player fell to me, or all these players got taken. I wasn't expected, like being able to adjust on the fly. Because for us, we always want to try to hit on our first 5 or 6 picks. Because that's how we want to go. Because us, if nobody knows, we like to take all the rookies. So we like to hit on rookies whenever we can to have the best keeper potential. And then who knows? They might break out this year, next year. Who knows?
Right. And then if you hit on your first 5 and you go rookie heavy, it's no big deal because as long as 2 of them hit, you have 5 solid players. Getting in, I mean, we touched on my draft strategy this year. I was a little more flexible. I had an idea of how I wanted to attack the draft. Just because I was drafting at 8, you guys were drafting at 9. There's not a lot. There's only 4 players that are coming off the board before I draft again. So I knew when my pick came up, there was only 3 wide receivers that I still loved on the board in Nico, Amon-Ra, and Drake London. So, but there was 4 running backs. I knew that if I took a wide receiver, when it came back, I would be able to take a running back and I'd be happy with it. So for me, I had done a lot of mocks where I went wide receiver, running back, and just to see. The only thing that I was challenged with is round 3. I wasn't sure if I was going to go Jaden Daniels George Kittle, Omari and Hampton, or Travion Henderson. I knew one of those would probably be at the back end, and I wanted to grab one. It was going to dictate my draft strategy. So I was lucky enough, and we'll get into this, but I did get George Kittle, which then made me say, okay, I'm punting on quarterback until round 10 or later. And so I had already gone in with that draft strategy. I knew if I took Kittle, I needed to secure, running back 2, wide receiver 3, and then 4, and get all those other ones. So, draft strategy it's almost, for me, I always try to plan my first 2 and then have a strategy for round 3 so that I know what the rest of the draft is going to look like or how I want to attack the draft. That doesn't mean players, I don't care who the player is, but I know how I want to attack them. Now, granted, that could have changed, right? If Patrick Mahomes falls to me in the 7th round, I'd probably take him.
Yeah.
But for the most part, that's what I was looking
at.
All right, so let's get into this. We're going to do a team-by-team breakdown here. And, what I want to do is actually not have that be like that. So there we go. So team-by-team breakdown, I'm going to pull up on the screen the first 9 rounds. I feel like those are the most important. And we can get into round 14 and all that other stuff. So everybody at home can see this is our draft board. Now, obviously, you guys, hopefully you watched the keeper video because, I know somebody in our draft didn't watch this, Terrence. But, here it is. So you guys are going to see some players on there, and you can see their keepers by this little marker right here. It's a lot easier to see on your screen than it is on ours because we are sharing a screen here. I just want to do a little team-by-team breakdown.
Sure.
Instead of we can get into the best drafts and worst drafts and how you liked your draft and all that other stuff, and we will later into this. But I wanted to just go team by team. So which I want to start at Ryan's team, and we'll just go from 1 to 10.
Okay.
All right.
That works for me.
So I thought, so before we get into we'll go round by round or something along those lines.
Sure.
When I saw Ryan's keeper of Joe Burrow and having the first overall pick, I knew Chase was off the board.
Yeah, that was kind of given.
And I loved it. I didn't hate it. I thought, honestly, in round 2 when he took Kyren, I super impressed. I loved how the draft was going. He grabbed one of my favorite tier 2 running backs. He grabbed the number 1 wide receiver, and he paired him with Joe Burrow. And then I felt like he went off the hinges a little bit. Now, granted, again, he was one of the 2 people drafting online, so I don't know what it looked like for him.
Sure.
And I know at one point Jacob texted me and said, hey, the board is all messed up, and I paused the draft and I pulled this out. And that could be what happened here because it kind of felt like after round 4, he brought it back together. But, round 3 going Kelsey and Kittle still on the board, I thought I know he's a Chiefs fan. It surprised me. And then to follow that up with Mahomes while keeping Burrow.
Yeah. Not necessarily moves I would make. The Kelsey pick I can understand because if he's your guy, go and get him.
Right.
I mean, it's a little too rich for me at that spot to go, especially when Kittle's still on the board. So I totally agree there. Patrick Mahomes, I see that as just like a homer pick. I mean, I know he had both Burrow and Mahomes last year. So I don't understand having the quarterback, but I mean, you have your backup in your bye week fill-in quarterback. So, but yeah, I'm like the strategy, again, it could have been maybe the board. I don't know. It's not necessarily a pick I'm in love with. If I already have a quarterback as my keeper, like if Patrick Mahomes was my only quarterback, then I can see why going there. Again, like if he's your guy and you believe in him this year, by all means.
So I thought, besides the Kelsey pick, like you said, I understand getting your guy, and maybe the board was wonky. So I'll give him a little, benefit of the doubt. I thought the weird part was right here. He goes Patrick Mahomes, DK Metcalf, and then Rashee Rice. We are a 3 wide receiver league. You have to start 3. And as we go further down, you'll see his next wide receiver off the board is Jordan Addison. 2 of his receivers are on bye week. Or suspended for 3 to 6 weeks. So you have to start Jamar Chase, you have to start DK Metcalf, and then we're going to have to go further down to figure out who else he needs to draft. Now, I think if he goes, instead of Patrick Mahomes, maybe he goes DK Metcalf and Devontae Adams. I love his team 100% more, right? Because then you go Rashee Rice, comes back, and it doesn't matter. You can sit on him because you already have your 3 starters. And I would have been okay with that. I think what kind of ruined Ryan's team right here was that Patrick Mahomes pick.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree with that.
Because even in the 7th, grabbing Tony Pollard, I love Tony Pollard.
I love Tony
you
Pollard,
and I
too.
have loved him all offseason. We've thought he's done fantastic. You know,
I love that pick as his RB too, because I'm like,
Yeah,
he's got Kyron and he's Pollard, and they're both consistent.
and I didn't hate the Rashee Rice pick. I just hated it for his team.
Yeah. So in the moment, I think like if you already have your 3 starters, you're set.
Right.
And then if you're able to take Rice and sit on him, perfect, because he has the ability to be a high-end wide receiver too when he starts out, and can finish the year as a high-end top 10 wide receiver.
Yeah.
I can totally see that play.
And then, so now here's round 9. We talked about it. We have Jordan Addison here. Kalish Kier, who I like, but he's injured.
Yeah.
So it's another, like, okay, who are you starting? Are we starting Michael Pittman here?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it looks like we are, right? It looks like we're probably starting J.K. Dobbins in our flex. We're going Tony Pollard and Michael Pittman. And, you know, it's going to be a rough little start. And then we ended with, and I'm never going to doubt somebody's 17th round pick.
Yep.
I just thought it was weird. If we have Patrick Mahomes, we have Joe Burrow, why are we taking Justin Herbert?
Yeah. Like if you're looking for, so like how we would play it for our last pick, we're going to try either to, if we haven't filled our last spot for IDP, look for someone who could possibly hit for us at the end of the year, potential keeper.
Yep.
So, the fact that you have Burrow as your keeper already and Herbert, I'm not sure.
Yes, I'm going to step away and shut the door because the dog is barking.
Yep. So for me, like I was saying, like I'm not sure why you would have 3 quarterbacks and we only can start 1. But I'm like, again, like if you're planning on maybe using Herbert or using him for trade bait, I can see maybe that play. But we only start 10 quarterbacks, and then all of us have a quarterback, so we're not necessarily looking for a backup. Like unless, you know, God willing, someone gets hurt, then I mean you can go off that. But yeah.
Well, and as an example, Brock Purdy, who I was looking at, is still on waivers. So you know, even in our league, it's going to be hard. Now, the other side of that is maybe he does want to trade Joe Burrow at some point, and he might be able to get something better for Joe Burrow than he could have gotten at any point in the first 13 rounds. So
I can definitely say that, just because we did up the quarterback points to six touchdowns now instead of 4. So I'm like, it does matter. I don't think we've seen it yet, but I think it could matter.
I think it will change. All right, so let's go ahead. This is last place. This is Aaron's team. I actually loved what Aaron did here.
Yep.
So you can't see it on this screen, but Aaron had in the 11th round Chase Brown as his keeper. So with him starting CeeDee Lamb, JSN, Alvin Kamara, but he also has Chase Brown.
Yeah.
And then to grab Sutton, who is one of my favorite players. I've drafted him a ton of him this year. And then Devontae Adams. So you know he's starting CeeDee Lamb, JSN, Sutton, and Adams is his flex with Alvin Kamara and Chase Brown. I think he killed it. Took Dak Prescott. Again, another great a great play, and it's a pairing with CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, yeah, totally. I love it.
And then you took Mark Andrews, this is when we're talking about this is 100% why I wanted Kittle. I didn't want to be in this round looking at Andrews, Laporta. I didn't want to be fighting with all those guys.
Yeah, totally.
So that's just a me strategy. But I thought Aaron first 7 picks were amazing. Stephon Diggs.
Yep. I think Diggs is going to be a high-end wide receiver too once he kind of gets going. Like I was telling Mike, I don't think he'll be what he was prior, like a high-end wide receiver 1, like a top 15 wide receiver. But if he can be a top 20, top 25, I'd totally fine with that.
I mean, you might be able to get a top 30 and you'd still be happy. And he's a 5th receiver. Yeah. So it's fine. Actually, in a 10-team league, I don't hate the Scatterboot pick. And the reason I don't hate the Scatterboot pick is because it's a 10-team league.
Yep.
So if you believe in somebody, that is the time to take it. Wait, what is he doing at this point? He doesn't need to fill anything else. His team is full. So while I don't necessarily, not a pick I would have made, I don't hate that he made it because I understand the thought process.
The thought process and the potential to it. It's like one of those picks where your starting lineup's already set. So it's like, what do I want to work on next? Do I want to just fill my bench, or do I want to look for somebody that can possibly do something for me later down the road? Yeah,
100%. He then follows it up with ETN. Obviously, he's keeper Chase Brown. And then he made 2 picks that Mooney, I love. And then Thornton Jr., who is the Raiders rookie wide receiver who's been getting glowing reports out of camp.
Yeah.
I've taken him in a ton of leagues. So I thought overall, Aaron, we always give him a hard time because he always drafts such an old team.
Mhm.
But when I look at it every time, I'm like, yeah, but I would take this team.
Yeah.
And so I don't have a lot to say about Aaron's team
Mm-mm.
because I understood all of the picks. He took Penix in the very last round just as
Yeah.
a flyer. He actually said it was for namesake. So
I mean,
he's probably just going to make an
I would have
awesome
taken
name.
him for a namesake. As well, too,
I
because
can't-
that's how I go about it. So,
So you know what, Aaron? Killed it. Proud of you.
Yeah.
All right. Next is Terrence. So Terrence's draft, somebody pointed it out to me, and I want to say it was JJ. He said, because I had mentioned I loved his draft. I loved that he started wide receiver, running back,
Mhm.
or I'm sorry, running back, wide receiver, running back, wide receiver.
Yep.
I thought it was great. And then JJ made this point. He goes, he started Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown, so he went Eagles.
Yep.
And then he went Devon Achane, Tyreek Hill, so he went Dolphins.
Okay.
And I love all those players individually, but he's right. On one team, that is kind of like I'm all in on these offenses.
Yeah.
And if
If they don't hit, then you're kind of
if
screwed.
Saquon Barkley has an amazing game, AJ Brown probably won't. And
Yeah.
if AJ Brown has an amazing game, it probably means Saquon Barkley did it. And
Yep.
same thing goes for Achane and Tyreek Hill. Obviously, that can change, right?
Mhm.
Achane can be big receiving back, but and so can Saquon, but usually,
Usually it's going to be one or the other.
right. So it was a point that was made that I was like, you know what? I can't disagree with that.
Yeah.
The thought process made sense when he said it, like, yeah, but you're all in here. And I kind of agreed with him.
Mhm.
But just so if we just look at it from a big standpoint, I love the picks.
Yeah.
And at some point every time those guys somebody on his team will
Yeah.
have a good week. Loved Laporta.
Mhm.
I don't hate taking him there. You wanted to secure that tight end. You had a feeling Kelsey was off the board, Kittle was off the board. The next guy to come off the board is until the 5th round with Laporta. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that pick.
And that was on the way back. So he got Hill, takes Laporta, and then just sees where it goes. He then takes DJ Moore and Calvin Ridley. Again, players I really
I love the Calvin Ridley pick. Like, I'm very high on him this year. I think he's going to do wonders for.
Yeah, I
Tennessee.
think Cam Ward is going to be a huge
Yeah.
player. I think he's being underdrafted in fantasy
I
a
agree.
lot of the time, just
Yeah.
because he's the number 1 overall pick, and we should
Mhm.
probably put a little respect on his name.
Yeah, I agree.
Then he goes Aaron Jones, Cooper Kupp. At this point in the draft, same. I still feel the same. He's secured his 4 receivers. Cooper Kupp is, if he's anything of what he used to be, great pick. If
Mhm.
not, it doesn't matter. You've got 4 receivers. You
Yeah,
can only
you
start 4.
got your starting lineup. Like Cooper Kupp, it's like if you need a bye week fill in, or maybe he has a little hot streak for a few games. Like, you never know.
Same thing with Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
Right? Like, okay, if Aaron Jones is the lead back,
Mhm.
fantastic.
Yep.
Quinshon Judkins, JJ made the comment during the draft, like he hasn't even signed, and his, Terrence's face dropped a little bit. But if we go the other side of that, there's a lot of rumblings that he's going to sign. And if in 4 weeks he's ready to go, he was a 2nd-round pick.
Well, Mike had pulled up an article earlier because we were going to actually take a look at him to kind of take a flyer on him. He's close to signing. So,
Yeah.
I mean, why not take the shot? Because if he hits, I'm like, you have a dominant running back.
In the 10th round.
In the 10th round,
Fantastic
I'm like,
keeper.
fantastic value.
And he might not be good until week 8, but
And that's okay.
you didn't draft him
You
to
didn't
be
draft
good
him.
in week
Yeah,
1 or
he
2.
didn't- He's not starting in your lineup, so you're okay.
He took Jared Goff.
Okay.
And he took Tua. So it says Jordan Brooks at the end, but the app wouldn't let it. This was
Yeah.
one of my complaints with the app. It wouldn't let us put in. It had Vinoy as a defensive end and Micah Parsons as a defensive end, which then made his whole draft mess up. So Jordan Brooks is Tua in this scenario.
Yeah.
Jared Goff and Tua, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
6-point passing touchdowns. Yeah, I get it.
I mean, you have 2 Dolphins, so I'm like, you compare Tyreek. and
well, he has
Tua.
3. He has Darren Waller.
Oh, and Darren Waller too. I
Yeah,
forgot.
so
Yeah.
he can always do that stack. I actually love the Christian Kirk pick. I was looking at him.
Mm.
So in the 12th round, I don't mind taking a flyer on a person. Now, this would have been in the 13th for me. I passed on him when we get there, but I don't hate it.
Mhm.
Darren Waller, same thing.
Yeah.
You pair him with Laporta and you see.
Yeah.
If he sucks, who cares? You just cut
Like,
him.
you
You
just
have
cut him.
Laporta.
You have Laporta,
Yeah.
so I'm like,
And we always have to remember, for anybody who's not in our league, but even the people in our leagues, the team you draft is not the team you keep,
No.
right? It's the foundation for the rest of the season. So you're hoping you have a solid foundation, but at some point you're going to have to pick up a Jonnu Smith,
Yep.
a Bucky Irving, a Puka Nakua. Those players are going to come out of the woodworks.
Yep.
You're going to have to drop somebody anyways.
Yeah.
Might as well have somebody you can drop.
Yep.
You're taking flyers on players. That doesn't mean they're going to work out.
Exactly.
All right. So let's get into our next one. This is Brandon. Brandon kind of drafted how I thought he would.
Yeah.
I love Brandon to death. He drafts. He has a draft strategy. He sticks to his draft strategy. He's not fluid, but at the same time, I can never say anything because I always give Brandon a hard time, and then he ends up in the playoffs.
I mean, he finished what, third?
Third,
Last year,
like
so.
second the year
Second
before,
the year before,
fourth
so.
the year before. Like the dude is just there all the
Yep.
time. So I'm kind of like I can sit here and be like, oh, Brandon, but then he's in the playoffs. So what can I say?
Oh, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Right. So he started. Now, Bijan falling was a little bit of a surprise to me.
Yes.
I had it in my range: Jamar Chase, Bijan Robinson, CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
I had CMC above Saquon.
Okay.
Purely because historical data suggests that.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. So, like,
But he's still a top five.
he's
I'm
still a
not-
top 5 back, but like I get with you having CMC higher ranked. I've always told you, my concern is the injury concern.
100%.
Otherwise, there's no injury concern. I'm like, he's the best running back.
Right. He's
So-
potential is 30 points.
Yeah.
Just history suggests that a 500-yard regression, that still makes him 1,500 yards back, and that still makes him a top 5 pick. We're splitting hairs when I'm saying
Yeah.
this. So you can argue Saquon. I just had Bijan ahead of him. So Brandon taking him in the fourth overall pick, great value.
Great pick.
I
I
fantastic.
love the pick. Yeah.
Trey McBride, Lamar Jackson. We know Brandon does not want to play the game.
Yep.
And he never does. He also had a little bit of an advantage by keeping Lad McConkey.
Yes. So you already
Right,
had a wide
so-
receiver. Yep.
I have Bijan, I have Lad. And in most drafts, it would have been Bijan, Lad McConkey second round.
Yep.
So by keeping Lad, he goes, okay, cool. I'll get Trey
Yeah.
McBride. I'll take Lamar Jackson. And then I just have to go from there.
Yep.
I said this when everybody was over. I don't know if Brandon was still here. I don't know about the Xavier Worthy pick. I had Tyreek Hill, Sutton, Devontae Adams ahead of him.
Mhm.
But I get going for big plays.
I mean, with Worthy, he's gonna be the number one in that offense. Like, even when Rice comes back, like, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. Like, if he's getting in the ball and he's getting his points, I'm like, that's all that's gonna matter. And with Rice, when Rice comes back and if he can be in form, I'm like, who are you gonna stop?
Mhm.
And like, Worthy's still gonna be valued. So like, I can see the vision of it, because I'm like, you're taking your shot, but because you're gonna have your consistency with McConkey. So like, it's not a bad play for your wide receiver to try to shoot high.
I actually love what he did next. He went RJ Harvey and DeAndre Swift. I know
Yep.
JJ, these were not JJ made it very clear these were not picks he loved.
Mhm.
I loved RJ Harvey. I had him as my 38th ranked overall player.
Yep.
So I don't hate the pick, but I also love that he secured it with DeAndre Swift. Like, it's Mr. Consistent. I don't think DeAndre Swift is going to be amazing, but I also think if he gets me 10 to 12 points until RJ Harvey can take off,
Mhm.
because fantasy isn't week one.
No.
It's down the stretch.
Yep.
I don't think RJ Harvey starts strong. I think JJ's right there. But
Yep.
at a certain point, J.K. Dobbins is probably going to get hurt.
Yeah.
And they vested a lot of capital in him, in RJ
Mhm.
Harvey. I think by week 5 or 6, he's going to take off.
Yeah, I love the pick. I love the Harvey pick. Swift, I'm never a fan of.
I
I
know.
think he gets way overhyped for me, especially. And I know that they have Ben Johnson in that offense, or as the offensive coordinator, but I don't see him doing the Jahmyr Gibbs role. in
But
my
if
opinion.
that's Tony Pollard or David Montgomery, you love the
I
idea.
love it.
Exactly.
I'm like, you just hit on running back.
But I don't blame him. Now, again, I would have taken Tony Pollard and David Montgomery before them, but I didn't think there was a massive drop off. And I don't hate the pick of DeAndre Swift because of his idea.
Yeah.
He's not starting Swift unless he has to.
Yep.
Jerry Jeudy, I think, is a great pick
Yep.
for the first 4 weeks until Joe Flacco's gone.
Yeah.
But then that's why he takes Matthew Golden.
Mhm.
Right?
With Judy, yeah, you can say the first 4 weeks, but he was a 1,000-yard receiver even without Flacco, with who they were playing last year at quarterback, with Watson playing is so bad, and then who I forget who the other guy was that they played near the end of the year, but
Well, so with them, they brought in Jameis.
it was Jameis.
And Jameis feeds receivers.
Yep.
So it's really hard for me to say like, oh, without Flacco. Well, Jameis and Flacco they're terrible like real life quarterbacks because they're going to throw 40 picks, but at the same time, they're just going to throw the ball up 40 times.
True.
So that's why I'm like, well, I get what you're saying, but he wasn't doing that with Watson, and he wasn't doing that. He didn't do that until the last 6 games. So, but again, that's why I think you take Golden. I love Golden.
I love Golden too. I think he's going to be. I think it's going to take him a few weeks.
Yeah,
but I think he's going to show that that's why they took him.
I had a Buka, Pearsall, and Golden all in that little same range. Players I was super interested in.
Oh yeah.
So I don't hate it. He comes around. He takes Colston Loveland. I get it. Right. He's always worried about tight end. So trying to grab a rookie and see if maybe I can make him a keeper. Okay.
Well, that's exactly what he said. He's like, I took Loveland just to see if he hits next year, I can have him as my keeper next year. I don't have to worry about tight end again. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Valid point.
He takes Ramondre Stevenson.
Yep.
I think at this point, once I hit the 11th round, I don't really care who you're taking.
Yeah.
Because you're just taking flyers. And again, we just talked about you got to drop players.
Well, with Stevenson too, I don't know who's starting in New England.
Yeah, we all believe it's going to be
Trevion Henderson's going to take the role eventually, but I'm pretty sure Stevenson's going to start.
Yeah. Tyler Algier, I get.
Yep.
You're securing your wide receiver one's backup, or your running back one's backup. He takes Joe Mixon at the end. Again, don't hate it.
No.
Joe Mixon, the reports are concerning, but you can stash him on your pup.
Yeah, and then if
he's on pup, you can stash him on.
You can stash him on your IR, and then if he comes back and he can get you a few wins or help with your wins, I'm like, why not?
Yeah, you look fantastic. And then he took Cam Ward, and again, I said
I like that.
I like Cam Ward. I'm a big fan. So while Brandon's draft wasn't necessarily flashy, it was solid.
Yeah, I mean he's always, like you said, he has a plan. He's going to stick to it,
but he executes it better than anyone else,
and it works. So.
He used to get rattled, and he doesn't really get rattled anymore.
No.
I think you rattled him a little bit right in that Swift Judy picks, but I don't think other than that he really got rattled.
No.
And in fairness to him, he had his kids over, and they were getting all riled up as you were saying that. I was like, you're kind of goading him, which that's why in-person drafts are fun.
Yep.
All right. So right after that was JJ. So JJ said he switched his strategy up this year.
Yeah, you can tell.
And
you can totally tell.
Sure enough, it was one of the biggest differences. My favorite thing about this is JJ every year has one of the worst draft grades on Yahoo and actually had an A+. It is projected.
Which is weird.
Which you know what that means, right? He's going to finish last.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all that means. Just kidding, JJ. No. I actually JJ had a few picks he hated, and the funny thing is the picks he hated are the picks I loved about his team.
Yeah, like I know. Well, we'll get into it, but
when
we get there. Yeah.
So JJ kept Brock Bowers in the 11th round, which
Love
what?
That. Yep.
I love that, and I love how he executed his first 3 picks. Taking CMC, he's like, I'm going upside. Taking T. Higgins. If you believe in a guy, you take him. Now, I had T. Higgins lower, but he believes in T. Higgins. You take T. Higgins. I had him lower, but not by enough to argue taking him over A.J. Brown or Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Well,
go ahead. No, if you believe in him, take him.
Well, yeah, I agree with that assessment because, I'm not the biggest A.J. Brown fan. So if I was stuck between picking him and T. Higgins, I was going to take – Mike and I were going to take T. Higgins.
I would have taken JSN, but I get you.
Or JSN too, yeah.
So, but again, we're splitting hairs.
Yep.
And then he follows it up with Jaden Daniels. And Jaden Daniels was one of the players I was hoping was going to fall to me. So I love Jaden Daniels this year. I think he has immense upside.
Yep.
Now, granted, we're betting on a player that had a really good final 6 games, which could be CJ Stroud-ish, but he showed more potential than CJ Stroud ever did. And I love Jaden Daniels this year. So for him to really have it's what Brandon did.
Yeah.
And a wide receiver 1, a running back 1, a tight end 1, and a quarterback 1. At this point, you have an advantage over the rest of the league.
Yeah.
You have one of the top 3 quarterbacks. You have the top tight end in the league. You have Christian McCaffrey, and then he follows it up. James Cooks falls to him.
Yeah.
So I was like, yep, I love that. He's looking solid. He then goes Tet, which was one of those picks he said he didn't like.
He didn't like, I was a little baffled by them. Like, I love that player.
I wanted Tet. I was hoping Tet would fall to me.
Same.
Yeah. So I know he didn't like it, but I loved it.
I love it.
Zay Flowers.
I like the pick for Zay Flowers. I think he's going to he's the number one in Baltimore, and he's gonna.
Well, I like what he did. So I don't love the Zay Flowers pick, but I love he then follows it up with two players that he kind of turned the draft on its head a little bit. And I thought he might with Travis Hunter.
Yep.
Because he said, I'm going to put him in my defensive back role.
Yeah.
Which is a significant advantage over everyone. And
Yeah.
then follows it up with Deebo Samuel. So just solid. Right? Like, yeah, his wide receiver 2 is weak, his wide receiver 3 is weak, and his flex is not as strong. But in the same breath, his cornerback is better than everyone
else.
He's better at tight end than everyone. He's better at quarterback than most of the league. It's hard to argue against him.
No, I love the Hunter pick. I mean, that's how it's kind of been with me in other leagues. Like people take Hunter to slot him in
your corner. I took him in the Dynasty League to do that.
Yeah. Debo, I love the Debo pick. I think like people are a little shy on Debo.
And to pair him
with Jaden, I'm like,
yeah, no, I loved that. He then secures Brian Robinson to secure his CMC, which you know what? He just executed that well. He goes Josh Downs and Juwan Jennings. So again, high upside receivers. It doesn't matter at this point. You've taken so many. I'm okay with taking high upside. Austin Eckler to kind of just have that back if something does happen. And then he does take Ray Davis to secure
James Cook. Yep.
He took Marvin Mims instead of Patrick Surtain because of the draft. But
I love JJ's draft. It was great.
Yeah, I thought JJ killed it. I understand why he got an A+, and I'm not going to argue with it. So even the picks he's not sure about, it's just second-guessing it's second-guessing genius. It's sometimes, you just do it.
Yeah.
Let's get into Jacob. So Jacob was another one who wasn't in. And we say this every year about Jacob, and every year it's true. Jacob just doesn't let value fall.
No, not at all.
So Jacob starts with Justin Jefferson, then goes Josh Jacobs. And Josh Jacobs, we're about to get to my team, but Josh Jacobs was a player I had on my radar. I almost took him right there at that turn. Derrick Henry fell to me, but Josh Jacobs was on my board. So again, loved the pick. But then Jonathan Taylor kind of just fell. Kyron Williams goes, Alvin Kamara goes, and no other running back goes, and he takes Jonathan Taylor. And when I was watching it happen, I was like, what is happening? And then Jacob just scoops him up. And you know what? Just value. So he's got Josh Jacobs and then Jonathan Taylor. Okay. Plus Justin Jefferson. He kept James Conner. So he's already got his flex. Right? So he does exactly what I would do next. I'm going to load up on my wide receivers. And then he goes Mike Evans, who I love. I
love Mike Evans.
And I love George Pickens.
Not sure about Pickens, but just because of how Dallas's offense is, I'm like, he's a superstar in the making. So I'm like, I think
even if you don't love George Pickens, he goes with Devonta Smith right after that.
Yeah.
One of them is going to hit, and he doesn't have to start all of them.
No, he does not.
He's just got to find one. And then he followed it up with David Montgomery.
So yeah, I can see that. Like, because you would probably think, why would you take Montgomery without having Gibbs? We looked into that, and points-wise, he was right up there, like consistently between 15 and 18 points a game. And that's with Gibbs playing and getting his. So I love the David Montgomery pick. I thought great value at that pick. You don't have to start him, but on the off chance that you need to flex him, I mean, you can.
I think the only argument I would make is maybe there, because I already have James Conner, taking TJ Hawkinson and securing him my tight end. But that's just because his team's so good. There was no need to have David Montgomery.
No need, but at the same time, Jacob's going to Jacob.
But Jacob's never going to let value. And David Montgomery should not be there in the 7th round.
He should not. No.
He then follows it up with Jacoby Myers. And again, we're at the point in the draft where I don't care. I don't love Jacoby Myers. He's his fifth. He's his fifth wide receiver. I don't love Jacoby Myers just because he asked for a trade. Doesn't mean I hate him. And it doesn't mean I think it's a bad pick, just where I'm at. But again, I don't care. It's your 5th receiver.
Yeah, so I actually agree with you at that point where if he wasn't asking for a trade and trying to get out of Las Vegas, I would love that pick because he's always a consistent PPR player. So I love Jacoby Myers, but yeah, like the trade is what worries me.
He gets a little unlucky because a few people take extra tight ends, and so he ends up having to go Tucker Kraft. And I'm sure Jacob would have loved to grab Njoku at that point. But I don't hate Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft was my 10th tight end. So,
And I had Tucker Kraft in our dynasty league last year.
mm-hmm.
Consistent, like you know what you're gonna get. Like if you don't have one of the high end tight ends, you know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get at least consistently 10 points from him. So
Yeah.
I can see the vision there.
Yep. He follows it up with Kyler Murray. So that's just, he goes Tucker Kraft, Kyler Murray. Fantastic. Kyler Murray's a fantastic wait on and get quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Trey Benson. Hey,
To secure James
Conner. Yeah, we're good.
Yep.
And just kind of ends with a solid draft. So Jacob unfortunately had to walk away near the end of the draft. So we had to little auto pick some of his defensive players, but loved his draft.
I loved his draft. Yep. He always never lets the value
Never
pass him.
value.
Ever.
Value will never fall past Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Next is Sarah. So you could tell Sarah was a little overwhelmed. And in fairness to her, we were using her computer for the draft screen. So she was having to do everything on her phone.
Yep.
So while I wasn't trying to help her a ton because she drafted right in front of me, I also was trying to give her a little bit of sympathy in that aspect. So we kind of went over a few of her picks. She wanted to start Malik Neighbors. She wanted that high upside wide receiver because she had Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
So I totally respected that. I understood why she'd go Malik Neighbors, pair him with Jahmyr Gibbs, and then she comes out and goes Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved how she started her draft, right?
Yeah.
We go wide receiver, we go running back, and then we get one of the top four. And a lot of people argue Jalen Hurts over Jaden Daniels just because consistency-wise, but I don't think there's a wrong play there, and I understand taking hey, I don't want to be waiting on quarterback.
Yeah, you don't want to wait on quarterback, so yeah.
She gets a little overwhelmed, though.
Yeah.
So at that Garrett Wilson pick, you could tell she was like, I don't know who to
I don't
take.
know who to take. Yeah.
And so she just rushed the pick.
Yep.
I would have taken Mike Evans there, or Tyreek Hill, or Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
All players I would have taken, or Ted. I had Garrett Wilson so far down.
Same.
But I will give her some props. She comes back. She secures Jalen Waddle, which was one of the players she had targeted.
Mm-hmm.
She went in with a clear, I want to target these players. And then she grabbed somebody you and I both love in Isaiah Pacheco. I thought she killed it because she goes Jahmyr Gibbs, secures Isaiah Pacheco.
Mm-hmm.
And while I don't love Garrett Wilson, you can argue him as your wide receiver 2 or 3.
Which she's going to be.
With Malik Washington.
Yeah.
And you have Jalen Waddle, and then she goes Chris Olave. He might be good.
We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what the quarterback situation. Yes, it's not bright in New Orleans, but somebody's got to catch the football.
Yep.
And I'm like, it's not like, no offense, it's not like they have Derek Carr anymore. So.
And then she got T.J. Hawkinson in the 7th round, which I thought was great value.
Yes.
Paired that with Jaylen Warren. Again, another great value starting running back. Hey, I'm just securing little things. She did KO Rashid Shaheed here. And she had Chris Olave. So, JJ pointed that out. Yeah, probably not the best.
Probably not the best. Yep.
But she can drop him.
Yeah.
We're at that point again, right? Just drop him.
Yep.
It's the 10th round. Who cares? She secured Evan Ingram. And I had him above Tucker Kraft and Colston Loveland, and he went after.
Same.
I was actually kind of hoping Ingram was going to fall to me, and I was going to take him with Bo Nix.
We were actually depending on who you had gone,
I would have gone first. Evan Ingram right there.
Okay, so yeah, because we were going to take him in that round.
Yeah, but you know what? She didn't let value fall.
No.
And with T.J. Hawkinson and Evan Ingram, fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Evan Ingram, the 11th round, fantastic. I loved her last 2 picks, actually.
Tootin and
she
Taylor.
Took Tootin and Taylor. So
yeah.
I love Tootin. I think he has potential to have a Devon Achane rookie season.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, so maybe not week 2, maybe week 3, maybe week 4. We see him kind of take off. Can you hold him that long? I think so. I think you can drop Rashid Shaheed, and I'm not even going to pretend to say that guy's name because I can't say it right.
Ayunamor.
Ayunamor.
I like him though, so I can see why Sarah took him.
Yes,
because in all the reports I've read, he's going to be something.
And then Mason Taylor. I love the player. I don't know if I'm taking Evan Ingram, I don't need to take Mason Taylor, but it's her 17th round.
It's her 17th round pick. I can see the vision because we would have taken him too. Just again,
take a flyer,
see what happens.
Yeah, I have Mason in Dynasty, so I can't complain.
Yeah.
Next is mine. So my draft, I wanted to, like I told you, as soon as I saw that Saquon, Bijan, Christian McCaffrey little run right there, I knew one of the receivers I was interested in was going to fall.
Yep.
For me, it was Nico Collins and Amon-Ra. I had Nico a little higher because I had Puka. So I wanted to secure a high-end potential wide receiver one because I think Puka has a great floor and a ceiling. Obviously, that's why he's been going so high. But I wanted to get that secured.
Yep.
I honestly thought how the next 3 picks were going to go. Was going to go Amon-Ra St. Brown, Drake London, and then I really thought right there was going to go Ashton Gentry, Derrick Henry, or Derrick Henry, Ashton Gentry.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be drafting Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, that's fair.
So to get Derrick Henry there was a surprise, and I'm not going to lie, it threw me for a little bit of a loop, but I felt like just sometimes don't overthink it, secure the best player.
Yeah.
So I took Derrick Henry.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
So Nico Collins, Derrick Henry, I go George Kittle. I wanted Jaden Daniels. He doesn't fall. I wasn't taking Jalen Hurts there. I was taking George Kittle.
Yeah.
If George Kittle was off the board, I was taking Omarion Hampton.
Yeah.
That was how I was executing that. If Omarion Hampton, George Kittle, and Jaden Daniels were all gone, I was going Trevion Henderson. That's how I was going to execute the next few picks of my draft. Luckily, there's a person in my backyard right now. Okay. Luckily, I didn't have to worry about it. I got Kittle, which is he was one of the 3 tight ends I wanted to secure. I got it. I'm happy. Obviously, Puka's my keeper. I was happy that Ken Walker fell this far. So I was hoping to grab RJ Harvey.
Yeah.
He was my 39. Ken Walker was my 38 ranked player. So to get him in the 5th round, I was stoked.
Yeah, he should be.
To have Derrick Henry and Ken Walker, I thought was fantastic. I just knew that meant I had to get Zach Charbonnet.
Yeah, because we've had Walker, I think, the last 2 years. We've always had to get him and Charbonnet. Even though you have to get him a little early, it's still worth it because if Walker goes down, Charbonnet is going to be an RB1 too.
Yeah.
So I love that you got both of them.
Coming back, I was hoping for Chuba Hubbard. You guys took him.
Yep.
So I just took Jameson Williams. I wanted to go.
I love that pick.
I wanted to go high upside, and all the reports out of camp have been just outstanding. And during Dolphins camp, nobody could guard him because the Dolphins and Lions did a joint practice. And so I was following it, obviously, and everything out of it was Jameson Williams just looks unguardable. And for the Dolphins, considering they deal with speed all the time, to be struggling with speed made me very interested in him.
Well, yeah, he was a first-round talent for a reason.
Yeah. And honestly, that was the end of that range for me. I had Jameson Williams, and then all the guys that go after him, I had in the same tier as Emeka Egbuka, Ricky Pearsall, and Matthew Golden.
Yeah.
You
just wanted one of them.
Yeah, I just wanted one of them. And so all those other guys, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to just secure Jameson Williams here, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
So it comes back. I take Emeka Egbuka. I would have taken Ricky Pearsall. I had him ranked a little bit higher, but I had George Kittle.
Yeah.
So I just took Egbuka.
Yeah.
To secure Egbuka. Zach Charbonnet, secure my backfield up. And then Jordan Mason, I had him last year. I think he's a great talent. And Aaron Jones, I'm not sure if he's going to stay healthy. And if he does, I still don't think they're going to give him as much work as they did last year.
I don't think they will either. I think Jordan Mason is going to take a lot of the workload this year from him.
Jordan Mason was one of my, I'll happily take you. So Sarah took Jaylen Warren right in front of me. I was very happy with Jordan Mason as a consolation prize. Keon Coleman, I just think, again, 10th round, I don't really care at this point. Keon Coleman, Josh Allen, I believe in the talent. I think somebody's going to get open. Keon Coleman could be that guy. He might not be.
I think he's going to be.
So. I do too, but if he's not, I'm not.
Yeah, you're not hurting.
Yeah. Bo Nix.
Yep.
The run on quarterbacks happened. The second run on quarterbacks. So when Jared Goff, Kyler Murray, I had every intention to go Evan Ingram there and then Bo Nix because you guys both had quarterbacks.
Yeah. And
so everybody said, Steven, you sounded disappointed because I didn't have a second pick. So I was like, well, I guess I'll take Bo Nix and see who falls.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't know who to take here. So I just took the player I had.
Yeah.
That was like, okay, I'll just take Bo Nix. I just took Luther Burden after that again.
Great pick.
Maybe.
I mean, we don't know.
And then I followed it up with the pick that you hated.
Yes, very much.
So Braylon Allen, I love Braylon Allen this year. He was in my top 100. To still be sitting there, I had him higher than Burden, but I needed wide receivers.
Yeah.
And the fact that you guys didn't take him meant I picked in front of you, and I didn't think anybody else would take him.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, cool. So if he falls all the way back to me, I'm going to take him there. I thought you guys might take him in that little 11, 12 turn because you didn't. I knew 13 I was going to pick first, and I was just going to take him.
Yeah.
After that, I took Ollie Gordon, and that was about it.
Yeah.
So that was my draft. I love this team. I actually felt like this is the best team. I got the worst draft grade on Yahoo. So my best team drafted, not necessarily the best team in this league, but
Yeah.
I was very surprised. I was like, well, I'll be middle of the pack. To be projected to go 2-12, I was like, okay, well, that's fine.
That's why I don't go off yet.
Exactly.
Because I think it ranked us the worst.
I was the worst. You guys
Or
were like the second or third worst.
I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
I was like, okay. Next is you guys. So you guys start off solid again. We had similar draft strategies.
Yeah, similar draft strategies. Very unexpected to how things kind of turned out. We thought you were going to take St. Brown.
Mhm.
We didn't think Genty would get to us. Honestly, I thought Sarah was going to take Genty.
Yeah.
So we went in with the mindset because we had two scenarios played out. We were either going to take the running back. So we had anticipated that Henry would have been the next best.
Mm-hmm.
So we were going to take Henry.
Yeah.
And then on the comeback around, depending on what Robert took, if you took one of the receivers, either Collins or London, we were going to take them, or we were going to go double running back since we already have Brian Thomas,
Right.
which would have been Derrick Henry and Josh Jacob. But as it turned out, we got Brown and Genty, which I love St. Brown. So
Yep.
Mike was very high on Genty.
Mhm.
Like he really, really believes in him. So, and that's kind of the thing with what we were talking about earlier is like with Mike, I'll let kind of him make the final decision because this is really usually his only league that he plays in.
Yep.
So like I'm going to value what he wants to do more than what I'm going to want. So,
Honestly, I was good.
which is why we took Genty over Henry.
But it's not like I didn't think that was a bad pick
No.
because I would have taken Genty or Henry.
Yeah.
So when you guys did that, I was like, yeah, it makes sense.
Mhm.
Like, okay. You then go Terry McLaurin.
Yes.
So were you kind of surprised by that little run of quarterback?
No, because I know how Brandon is. So I know he loves Lamar Jackson.
You thought I was taking Amari in Hampton here. I know we've done a lot of drafts
Yeah,
together, and you looked at me and said, "Oh, just take the guy
Just
you
take
want."
the guy you want.
And I was like, "Okay, well, it's Kittle."
Yeah, because we were gonna take Kittle there.
Okay.
So because Mike was like, "Do you want to secure the tight end?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "We'll get the tight end, and then we'll get McLaurin on the way back."
Yep.
So the quarterback run, no. The Lamar Jackson pick, I'm not surprised with. Jaden Daniels, I was a little surprised. Great pick. We kind of had him on our radar, but Mike thought it was a little too early for him.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts doesn't surprise me, but the fact that we got McLaurin, we wanted him as at least because we had talked about it. If we had gone the 2 running back route, we wanted McLaurin as our number 2. We were fine with him as number 2. The fact that we have him as our number 3 receiver, yeah, like he was,
great.
yeah. And then Trevion Henderson, I'm a Patriots fan, homer pick.
No, I thought
I think he's going to take the job from Stevenson.
I love Trevion Henderson. I thought he ended up being towards the end of it, just all the stuff he was doing in preseason. I know it's preseason, but he looked so amazing. It's so hard to not want to just bet on talent.
Yeah.
And then you followed up. So I thought this run was a little weird, but I understand why you did it. I
Mhm.
just thought it was a little weird. So you go Chuba Hubbard, Breece Hall.
Yes.
What were you guys thinking? So you already have Genty, you have Trevion Henderson. I understand taking Chuba Hubbard just because you went 2 rookie running backs. Is
Mhm.
that what you're thinking there? Is that why you also go Breece Hall or what?
So we went Hubbard because of the talent and because he was very consistent last year. He had a good year last year.
Mhm.
And on our board, he was the next best player on the board.
Yep.
Like we were secure. We were good on receiver because we already had Brown,
Yeah, you already have
McLaurin,
3
and
at this
Thomas.
point. Yeah.
And then really the next receiver we were honestly going to look at probably would have been McMillan and Adunze. But we figured let's just go running back. Breece Hall, you and I talked about it. I love Breece Hall, the talent. Like he's so talented. And the fact that they're talking about trading him, I'm like, if he gets on a good team, I'm like, I can see him being a top 10 back, top 5. That's just from my personal opinion.
Yeah.
So that's why we went with those 2.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I wasn't sure if it was the rookie like, hey, we wanted to secure like
No.
some solid, or
Mm-mm.
you're just like, no, we just went with what we thought was the best pick?
Yep. I mean, and if Henderson or Genty, like, I don't think Genty's going to struggle, but if Henderson like doesn't get on the field, well, we have Hubbard. We can play Hubbard.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
So-
And by doing what you guys did, 4 of your first 5 picks being running backs, you kind of just go, okay, I can do whatever I want at wide receiver.
Yeah.
Which I know you guys love that deep. I love it too, that deeper part right there.
Yep.
And so that's kind of what you do next. You go Pearsall. I'm sure the Tracy Warren thing, we talked about it already. Tracy Warren threw you off, or
Mhm.
was it just the Warren, or was it Tracy as well? Because you start with Pearsall, which I love, right? I said I wanted a piece of him. You took Baker because that was your next best player. Who were you looking at right there? Was
'Cause
it
we're
just
going-
Tyler? Yeah, it was Pearsall, Tracy, Warren.
So yeah, so after Pearsall, we were looking at Tracy because we figured let's get another running back just to be on the safe side. When Tracy got took, we had looked at Warren. We actually looked at Warren too. So it was Tracy, Warren, and then Baker. That's how we had it ranked.
Okay.
Because we didn't have a tight end yet, and Mike was like, "Well, we can wait on tight end. Like, why not take a shot on a rookie? Because that's what we do."
Yeah.
So once those 2 got taken, Mike was like, "Let's just get the quarterback." He's like, because maybe we can get, which you'll see later on, we got Godwin too, because Mike loves
The stack.
the stack, that, and then he loves Tampa Bay's offense, just all those weapons on that offense.
Mhm.
So, which I agree with. I'm like, why wouldn't we?
Yeah. No, I get it. You then obviously you take Chris Godwin. I was very happy you guys took Baker here. As soon as Tracy came off, I wasn't sure if he was going to go Charbonnet. So when he took Tyler Warren, I was like, it's really up to you guys. I was very happy when you said quarterback, because I said, thank God I'm going to get the backup to my running back.
Yeah,
Because you guys had so many running backs. I thought that would happen.
Yeah,
but
we
I
weren't
wasn't sure.
looking at Charbonnet. Like if he would have fell to us, we probably would have. Like if you didn't take him and he
Fell back
somehow
on the
fell
ninth
back,
round,
then it's
yeah,
like,
you
well,
would've
why
looked
can't
at-
we
yeah.
take him?
Right. No, I talked to Aaron. He's sitting there. I said, I think I have to secure Charbonnet. It's a little early, but I can't walk out of the draft without Walker's backup.
Mhm.
You guys go Godwin, your keeper Brian Thomas, and then you take Bill Krosky Merritt.
Yes.
I like the flyer here. Just why not? So you
Why
guys
not?
went really young. Your next few picks, you go Bill Krosky Merritt, you go Jaden Higgins, go Dalton Kincaid, and then you finish it off with Jaden Blue.
Yep.
Are you a little concerned that Dalton Kincaid is your only tight end?
No.
You believe him to be. I mean, you're so solid everywhere else. You're going to be weak in spots. I get that. So I'm not complaining. I'm just asking from a different perspective of, you think you'll get somebody off the waivers, or you just believe in Dalton Kincaid that much?
You can be a little bit of both.
Okay.
Because yes, Kincaid, he started picking it up near the end of the year,
Mhm.
and then for us, like, if we didn't get one of the top tight, so my number 1 tight end for me after the top 3-4 was Evan Ingram, which your wife took.
Yep.
So after that, I was like, I don't really care who we get at that point. I'm like, I
Yeah,
can find, I
you're
can
out on
find,
Tyler Warren.
I've done this long enough. I can find value at the tight end position. And then Kincaid just happened to be there. And I was like, he had a great year finish. So why wouldn't we? Because it was either him or Hunter Henry. So I told Mike, we can go upside with Kincaid, or we can go consistency with Henry, because Henry's going to be consistent in the red zone for New England.
That makes sense.
So,
All right. Last but not least, we have Robert.
Yep.
His draft kind of got me a little bit, not in a bad way. I was surprised. So
Yes.
now, granted, Robert, I've only drafted with one other time.
Mhm.
Last time he went 0 running back. He went super wide receiver heavy. I thought that might be the way he leans. He obviously doesn't. He switches it
he
out a
switches the
little
strategy each year, it looks like.
bit. He goes Drake London first.
Love the
Loved
pick.
the pick. I have Drake London in a ton of other leagues. I love his upside. I honestly, the reason I wanted Nico Collins, another reason I wanted Nico Collins, I have no shares of him in any league. So it was hey, you know what? I love Nico Collins' upside. I want to get him, but I have a lot of Drake London, and I do not hate that pick. He takes Josh Allen, 6-point passing touchdowns, securing the quarterback 1, who you know is not going to fall to you.
Nope. Not at all.
It's not coming back on the 3rd. I don't hate the pick.
I don't hate the
understand
pick.
it.
I was surprised at the pick, I will say.
Yeah.
I can see why it took him almost the entire time to kind of make the decision.
He kind of like worked through.
But
it.
even though I know because he had mentioned that he had the decision in his head yesterday, you might have that decision, but at the same time, it's like, well, do I really want to do it? Do I really
it's
look
hard
at
to execute
it's
something
hard to
when
yeah.
it's just completely off the.
But
norm.
I get it. I love the Josh Allen pick. You have the best, in quote, fantasy quarterback. You don't have to worry about anything at all for your quarterback position.
Well, and also with him keeping Bucky Irving, it gives again, right? I have a wide receiver one.
Yep.
I have a running back one. Okay, well then my third player is Drake London.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about it. Like, okay, cool. And then he comes back. He takes one of my favorite players, Omarion Hampton, and then one of your favorites in Harrison.
Yeah, I did not like that pick at all because he's my favorite player. I love him.
Yeah. So he took two of our we're not going to argue with it because
I mean, great value picks. I dislike the Marvin Harrison pick because again, I tanked our dynasty league 1 year just to make sure to secure the number 1 pick to draft him. So that's how much I love that player.
Rome Odunze, high upside. Love the pick. He's a wide receiver 3. I have high hopes for Odunze this year, so like it. Tyrone Tracy, he's probably his flex because at this point he has 3 receivers, 2 running backs, a quarterback, and then Tyrone Tracy. So I'm assuming he's flexing him.
I would think so.
He goes Tyler Warren, Javonte Williams. I love Tyler Warren this year. Every league I've taken Tyler Warren in, though, I've always backed him up with another tight end. He did not do that. So if you truly believe in him, I mean, we have a few friends who have just said, I believe in Tyler Warren. I'm taking Tyler Warren. You know what? I'm not going to argue with him.
And worst comes to worst, he can drop somebody and pick up a backup. Oh, actually, no, never mind. He's got a backup.
He did take Jake Ferguson. I just missed it. My biggest surprise here is he only took 4 receivers. Last year he had 7.
Yeah.
So he has Jaden Reed as his wide receiver 4. Caleb Johnson, Javonte Williams. He went high upside running backs, but it was just that surprised me because I was really expecting him to go wide receiver at the turn. So for him to go wide receiver, quarterback, and then running back before he even, I was like, man, I was way off on what his draft strategy was going to be. But you know what?
I mean, it seems like he came in with a different strategy this year. This is to kind of see maybe how it's going to work.
Yeah.
I mean,
he finished second.
He finished second. You can't argue with it. I mean, we had a heck of a time beating him last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I love his draft. I love all the players and the great value that he had. So.
Yep. Overall, great. So let's go ahead and start. This is what you believe is the worst draft.
Okay.
So, I mean, we kind of talked on it because as we were talking about Ryan's draft, there wasn't a single player between that round 4 through 6 that we liked. And those are important rounds.
Rounds 3 through 6, in my opinion, can kill you if you don't draft right. And it's nothing against Ryan. I love Ryan.
Yeah.
But
fantastic person.
Fantastic.
But maybe we could have done better.
I'm like, the Patrick Mahomes pick is what kind of threw me off a lot. And then I get the vision with Rashee Rice. I'd like the Rice pick if he doesn't have Mahomes. If he has another receiver in that spot.
Yeah, then like you said, Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, we love Rice.
I love
your whole draft changes, but it's because you take Kelsey and Mahomes in 3 and 4. You already have Joe Burrow. There was no reason to do that.
Yeah.
You have probably the 5th best quarterback at worst in Joe Burrow. At worst. A lot of people had him top 3.
I could go top 4 for him. For me, in my personal ranking, he'd be number 4.
Yeah. I would have him above Jalen Hurts for me. But, I mean, there's not much more to say there.
I mean, I do love the Pollard pick again. I'm like,
he had very good sprinkles of great players. Just those rounds are so important. You know, round 3, if we don't go Travis Kelce and we go Jonathan Taylor there, your team looks so much better, right? And then round 4 you go Kelce. Kelce falls to 4.
Yeah, I can see Kelce falling to 4 because, like you said, if you have the 2 running backs, like even with the receivers that you have, you're then relying on your 2 stud running backs to carry.
Because if his team is Jamar Chase, Kyren Williams, Jonathan Taylor, and DK Metcalf, you're like, oh, this team looks
fine. You're good. I mean, we'll see once Rice comes back, and then when I think Addison's only suspended the first 3 games.
Yeah, he's only missing 3.
So I'm like, I love Jordan Addison.
Me too. But like I said,
it's going to be a rough.
Rice's bye week is week 10 too. So like he comes back week 7, 8, 9, and then he's out again. And you're like, God bless.
Yeah.
Best draft. Not your own.
Well, yeah, I know that's a little biased. It's a tie for me between, I would say, JJ and Jacob.
I would agree. JJ and Jacob killed that middle round.
I love JJ's different mindset and strategy because I love JJ, but sometimes he overthinks the little things. This year, I didn't see any of that.
No, he executed.
He executed what he wanted, and I love all of the value that he has. I know he doesn't like the McMillan pick, but I think that's a solid pick. And then Jacob, I'm like, Mr. I like to just pick the best talent off the board. I'm like, Jacob never goes wrong in a draft. So,
and the other thing is, like, you are always going to be weak at a spot in every draft, right? You have to decide where that's going to be. JJ's weakest spot is his wide receiver 3. Like, okay, fantastic. Your weakest spot is Zay Flowers. You're killing it. Or your flex, who's Deebo Samuels. Jacob's weakest spot is probably his tight end.
Because he has...
I believe Jacob has... No, he took...
Tucker Kraft.
But again, his weakest spot is tight end.
His weakest spot is tight end. But if you're going in knowing, like, I just need 10 points for my tight end, that's all I need. Then you're fine.
I would agree with that. I know I told you couldn't say your own. I thought you guys killed your draft strategy. It's hard to say you didn't because your draft was very similar to how I wanted to draft. So
yeah, Mr. Copycat.
You know, if it wins championships, it wins championships.
Oh yeah, I mean it's true.
So yeah, so for me, I probably execute. Well, I did. I try to execute kind of the same strategy as you guys. Different players, obviously, but same strategy. Jacob always just executes well.
Yep.
I do have to just call out Aaron. I thought killed it and could be a sleeper pick.
Totally, yeah.
Chase Brown, who I love, Alvin Kamara in a PPR league.
Yeah.
Aaron's weakest spot is tight end with Mark Andrews.
You think so?
We have to give him his weakest spot.
It's fair. Okay.
Like it's Chase Brown, Alvin Kamara, and then you have CeeDee Lamb, JSN, Sutton, and Devontae Adams. Adams is his flex.
Who's his other running back after?
Alvin Kamara and Chase Brown, and then he's Cam Scatterboot, but Cam Scatterboot is not going to start for him.
Okay.
His weakest spot is literally Mark Andrews because I love Dak Prescott.
Oh yeah, I love Dak too.
But so we're talking about like, the weakest part of your whole lineup is your tight end, but we don't think it's a weak spot.
No, I don't. But if you have to pick one, sure.
Yeah. So if we're going to give it, it's like, it's kind of hard to not call out Aaron's team.
It's his linebacker spot.
It's his linebacker. Yeah. Your defensive player.
It wasn't that great.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it. I can't wait for week 1.
Yeah.
Can't wait to continue to trash talk. Can't wait to post this. Can't wait to see what everybody says. It's a long one in an hour. Most of our podcast won't be this long. I'm hoping to get everybody on here. Hopefully we get your partner, Mike, on sooner rather than later. But, I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And, we'll see you guys all soon.
Peace. Hey, guys.